if no one's telling you what to do, you have to just wake up and do something. That's the only way you can move forward in this industry is waking up and doing something.
Welcome, everyone, to the Closing Table podcast brought to you by WindowStill. I am your host, Kat Fuller, and today I am here with Nick Coticchio of Maurer Group at Exit Realty, servicing Rockford, Illinois. Nick, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for joining me. So let's just get started with how you got started in real estate. Tell me that story.
Yeah, so I kind of always took a path different from other people. So starting from high school, I actually left the school I was at my junior year of high school, and I took a risk because I was doing some research, and most of the schooling, the classes I was in, it was they wanted us to self-teach and then test on proficiency. And I saw that as I could just teach myself a lot quicker and move forward with going to college afterwards. So what I ended up doing, which kind of was a risk and caused a lot of people to um, be a little bit concerned about my decision. But after 2 months of my junior year, I left the school I was at and transferred to an online program. I ended up technically my graduation, the class was 2020. Um, Within that 1 year of me being a junior, I was able to graduate, not only finish my junior year of high school, but finish my senior year and finish 2019 May. So um, that was something where I sat down with a bunch of my friends and the day I switched and I told them, I said, hey, I won't be at the school anymore. I made a decision to leave, and I could tell they were concerned and stuff. But I knew that it was a risk that potentially could be very beneficial, and it ended up working out in my favor. And I was able to start college super early, and um, with that being said as well, I went straight into hospitality school. So I've always had a being of service mindset. I like to provide service, and my first job was TGI Fridays.
Mm.
So I worked there for 3 years. I really enjoy being of service to people and just having them have a good time and enjoy whatever the environment or whatever the situation is. I want them to be able to enjoy it and um, make it a little bit easier on people. So I ended up doing hospitality school, and then COVID hit, and we went online. Um, and I just realized I am really good at teaching myself online without having to be in person. Um, I catch on to things really fast, and I enjoy teaching myself and going at my own pace. So after COVID was almost done, we were going back to school. I decided to make another decision and jump out of that college and go into an online college that's fully online. So I actually graduated in June, so I'm still in school, um, and I let's see, I with the schooling I kind of switched to, it was very iffy for me because I knew at the end of the day, like I wanted to do something entrepreneur. And I knew I didn't have to be in college for that. I kind of fought college for a long time. Um, my dad's in construction. He does interior millwork. So I always was able to see the cool, like him installing cabinets and him installing these awesome kitchens and bathrooms. And it was inspiring to me. And then on the same side of it, my mom was a real estate agent, and property manager. So I kind of had the background from my parents. And although like I went to school, I'm in school, I always knew I wanted to do something that was on my own and be my own boss, pretty much. So I decided while I was in school, I might as well get my real estate license. At this time, it was when the market was not the best. It was very tough. So going straight into it, people told me like, maybe you should just focus on school, finish it, and then do real estate as a backup plan, or do real estate after you finish school. But for me, I always wanted to do something that was off the, you know, normal path. So I got my license actually last April, so it's going to be almost a year, which is great timing for this podcast.
Yeah,
Um,
congratulations.
thank you, thank you. So I, yeah, got into it kind of just because I knew I wanted to do something on my own, and my degree's in communications at the moment. Um, so I definitely switched schools a lot. I switched majors a lot. I really fought the college system and switched around a lot. But real estate at this point has been something I have been in love with. I love going into houses, seeing the interior, seeing the different like layouts, the different lifestyle people live. Um, it's very inspiring to me, especially seeing people like first time home buyers getting into their first home, and it's an amazing thing to see. Um, so that's kind of like how I got into it, is more I wanted to try something that was not so common. And even though people told me, hey, like the time's not right, I wanted to still try it. And if it works out, it works out. If it did not, then I still have the college degree.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where I ended up. And now I'm 1 year in the business and I'm slowly improving. It's been a long year, but this is where I'm at.
That's so cool. I feel like so many people I talk to, when they have that kind of voice that it's like, oh, maybe you shouldn't or whatever, they kind of see it as a challenge, right?
Yes.
I think there's something very like human instinct about
Yes.
proving people wrong. I'm curious about kind of your whole journey.
Hmm.
What made you be like, I want to leave high school early? Was it just like kind of just kick starting your professional life?
It was. I kind of noticed that all of the classes they were switching to a self-teaching um, way of learning, which
Mm-hmm.
in my head I was like I could do this on my own anyways. Like if this is what we're doing, I might as well, find a path that I can finish quicker and um just like kind of start college as soon as possible. My dad is very traditional. He's very like go to college, get a degree. So me leaving high school, it really put a like almost like a knife in that relationship with me and my dad, until he saw that you know I ended up graduating a whole year before I was supposed to. I got into multiple different colleges, and he realized after the fact that okay, like he knows what he's doing. And at my graduation, he gave a speech, and he was um, very proud of the decision I made, even though in the beginning he wasn't for it. Um, and now we have a great relationship, of course.
Oh,
So
I'm so glad. It's so interesting, the timing of it too, because
Mm-hmm.
you could have never predicted what was going to happen in 2020 and 2019, right? Nobody could have.
Mm-mm.
But if you had just stayed in school, you would have done your last year in online school anyway. You probably
Exactly.
wouldn't have had, a lot of people didn't have a formal graduation where, 1,000
Mm-hmm.
people get together and you walk across the stage.
Yeah.
So it seems like you were a little ahead of the curve in that,
A little bit, a little
serendipitously.
bit, a little
Yeah.
bit.
And then do you feel like your ability to, gaining that skill of being able to teach yourself, that propelled you or set you up very nicely for learning real estate?
Oh, 100%. Even just with the classwork itself, doing um, the 75 hours of real estate classes, I flew through it. Like, it was something that I was able just to sit down on my computer because I did it online. I opted for the online version. Um, and I was able just to fly through it, and I retained most of the knowledge, like most of the things. Um, I took the test, and I passed because you take a national and a state. I
Mm,
passed the national the first time, and then the state I was one question away or 1 point away. So the second time I passed, but just being able to I finished my high school online. It taught me so much about how to teach myself, how to stay on track, how to have almost like a calendar that you stick to. Um, it taught me time management. That's like one of the biggest things. And then I did go to in-person college right after.
mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the social life of it. And I enjoyed because I went to school in Chicago, so it was an awesome lifestyle. But then COVID happened, so then I went online and doing the online classes. I was like, no, like I can teach myself pretty much anything super quickly. So with that being said, in real estate, it's all about because nobody is telling you what to do. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
is here saying, hey, go knock on doors. Hey, go make these calls. You kind of have to push yourself to just do it. And because I have the initiative of, logging on to my computer and doing the schoolwork, and to this day, I'm still doing college work until July. Um, I kind of have that initiative built in me to just get things done, which I think benefits me in this industry because if no one's telling you what to do, you have to just wake up and do something. That's the only way you can move forward in this industry is waking up and doing something with it.
Right. And yeah, you're right. You are your own business person. You are your own
Mhm.
business. So back to, you mentioned time management, and
Mhm.
especially since you're still in school, how do you manage your time? How much time are you spending on school versus, seeking out new clients versus working with clients? What does your
Yeah.
schedule look like?
So not only am I still in school, I also work full time.
Oh boy.
So my time management, I would say, I'm very proud of myself for what I've been able to accomplish. At this time, since it's my first year in real estate, um, I would say it was a very slow progression of learning as much as I could. Um, and that was my main goal is I came into the industry, I joined a brokerage that truly is like a family. I love the brokerage I work with. Everyone, they want to help you and they want you to be as successful as they are. So my first thing going into this brokerage was I'm gonna connect with all of the agents, be on their good side, and hopefully they can help me out as much as possible with just the knowledge things. Because one thing I realized is you finish the class, you get licensed, and you go show a house, and people will ask you, hey, like, what is this? And it's like a sump pump. And I'm like, you know what? Actually, I have no idea. Like let me take a photo and ask my broker because like I did not know half the stuff about houses. Um, so the first year was truly about learning as much as possible about homes. So I would ask agents to come, just to take me with to their listings and kind of like show me different aspects of the house, different utilities, what a water softener is and how it works, and what is um, like just all of the mechanicals of a house that people will have questions about. I needed the knowledge for myself first before I could feel comfortable telling people, like clients, about what it is in a house. Um, but with the time management, I do work full time, um, and I'm also in school, so it's a lot of late nights. I will say it's a lot of late nights. It's a lot of early mornings, and it's a lot of pretty much I work um 24/7, 7 days a week. Um, because if I'm not working my full-time job, I'm doing school. If I'm, not doing school, I'm working on real estate, trying to build a brand, trying to get knowledge. Um, I'm very much a workhorse at this time in my life, which I'm okay with because hopefully in the future I won't have to be. Um, but the time management, it's hard, it's challenging, um, but I have such a drive to be successful, and this first year wasn't anything awesome for me, in real estate. I had one transaction, and I represented the buyers, and it went super smooth, and I'm very grateful for that transaction. And I learned so much about even the contracts. Like, you don't get taught any of that in the school. So
Mm.
the time management, yes, it's tough, but I'm very optimistic that at a certain point, I can kind of like slow down and it'll be easier and I don't have to work as hard.
Mm.
So, yeah.
I'd like to take just a moment and tell you about our sponsor. WindowStill provides premium real estate media for agents, builders, and property management companies nationwide. To learn more, visit windowstill.com. WindowStill, helping America find their next chapter. Now, back to the episode. Yeah, is that I was going to say, it sounds like you have a lot of drive, and like I think it's easy to to, to do that when you're younger. And I say that like I'm super old, but you just wait, you hit your 30s and then you get tired really easily. But I think it's so smart that you've done all of these things to kind of accelerate your timeline, while you have the time, while you have the energy.
Hmm.
And it seems like you kind of have this natural drive that keeps you going. Um, when when things are really busy, when things are really difficult for you, like what do you lock into that keeps you motivated?
Yes. So, a lot of times a good nap helps.
That's so real.
I will say a good nap always helps. And then other than that, like I still try to have a social life. One of the things that when I started full time and I did real estate, I'm still in school, I did kind of lose some friends, because they saw that, I am so busy and I'm not always able to be out and about doing things. But one thing I really enjoy is going out and socializing, whether it's being networking or just hanging out with friends, going to the bars. Like I don't necessarily drink myself by choice, but it is just like the social aspect of it kind of helps me um, be more grounded and realize, okay, like everybody is doing something. They're all, living their lives. Um, and getting to see and hear what they're doing, it motivates me to be like, okay, yeah, I had a tough day, but these people who I am very like impressed of, they're doing, even more and able to maintain it. So it pushes me just to be like the people who I want to be like. Um, and I try to surround myself with people who are like-minded and they want to be successful and see growth. It's not even about the success, it's more about just growth. So another thing is every Monday I do this group. It's like a support group for people who um, they're trying to change something in their life. So, some people they just want to lose weight. Some people they just want to grow in their business. This one guy is trying to make it in the music industry, and we meet every Monday and we just talk about our highs, our lows of that week, and it's something I love to go and do because we get advice from them, and it's just so motivating to be a part of something that everybody around you wants to grow just like you do, even if it's not in the same way. Like growth is growth, like either way.
That's so interesting. So, how did you find a group like that? And I think it's really cool that these people are in different industries because the more
Hmm.
you kind of like widen your sphere, the more you see like a lot of us are kind of just going through the same stuff. So, how did you
Yeah.
find this group?
So like I said, my first job was TGI Fridays, and I had one of my really good friends. I came out of it was his name is Austin, and um, once I went to college in Chicago, he moved to Texas, and we kind of fell off just because of the distance. He ended up moving back to my area, and his friend wanted to do something like this. So he set it up, and Austin reached out to me and asked if I was interested in joining a group like this. And to me, I had nothing to lose. Um, so of course I said yes, and I was just gonna go see, how the first couple of sessions went. Um, but I ended up loving it. It's such a great group to have, and like just the support you have around it. Um, it's been like truly something that has helped me a lot. But it's just from friends inviting you into their circle, and even though I haven't talked to him in a while, like he sees what I'm doing from social media, and I see what he's doing, and then um, that's kind of how I got connected with that group.
Oh, I love this because this is something anyone could do, right?
Oh,
It doesn't
anybody,
cost
yeah.
you anything.
Mm-mm.
So, I'm curious even more cuz I love a little community.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys set like goals? Like is there like some sort of measure of accountability?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So there's rules to the group. So every Monday from 7 to 8 is the time, and it's encouraged that you are punctual. The goals that we make are supposed to be SMART goals.
I love a SMART
So
goal.
yes, um, and then every single week as well. So we all kind of go around and we talk about our highs and lows, but then we also talk about one person specifically for the majority of that day, and we call it the hot seat. So we kind of dive into, what are they struggling with? What do they need help in? What are they doing really good at? Um, and we kind of just like, um, it's a very structured and very, um, like I was surprised how structured it is, but it is very structured. It's the same every single week, and everybody's on board. Everybody knows the drill. We even have usually the person in the hot seat will bring like a dish, like a food dish. So like I'll bring like last time I brought like a fruit salad, and like some tea. But um, yeah, it's been amazing.
Wow. I'm so in love with this.
Hmm.
And I was going to ask if it's virtual or in person. So it sounds like it's in person, but
In
I think you could
person.
easily do this virtually
Hmm.
too. But I love in person anymore. We did virtual for a long time.
Yeah.
Um, and then, so maybe for anybody who doesn't know, do you want to just like give a quick rundown of like what SMART goals are? Like there's a lot of this on the internet, but we're already here, you know?
Yeah. So off the top of my head, um I won't be able to say the
No, it's
all the
okay.
letters, but
I think
it's like something that's measurable,
mhm.
achievable, and like there's a time limit to it. I forgot what all the letters stand for,
Yeah, like S is
but
specific, M is
mhm,
measurable, A achievable.
yep.
I don't remember what R is, and then T is time
Mm-mm.
based.
Yes.
So yeah, it's just really breaking those things down into
Hmm.
the teeniest, tiniest steps.
Yeah, and like one of the goals I had the first week was just to start networking more. So, um, I've already in the past I do a lot of networking. It's something I like to do because it's really easy just to message someone, especially some people in the industry like lenders, photographers, um, like appraisers, like anybody. Um, they want to like go get coffee. Like I've never ran into somebody that's opposed to meeting face to face and just having a conversation. Um, so this upcoming Sunday, I have a open house, and then I'm getting coffee with a photographer, um, just to kind of like build. Um, I call it a Rolodex. It's old school, but like my like network of business people. Um, so yeah.
That's cool. Where did where did your idea or for that come from? I mean, like some of it's like intuitive, right? But do you have like your mentors at your brokerage that are pushing you to do that?
Um, I would definitely say when I first started, um, the manager at my office, he did uh let me like tag along to a lot of networking events. So I went to this event called Spark, um, and it was just a bunch of people in the industry, people in different industries, and it was really more of like a leadership, um, and how to be like a professional. So I did stuff like that, but truly, I know in this industry, you can't do it by yourself, and you need connections. Um, Clients will ask me like, "Hey, do you know a plumber?" And at first, I was like, "No, I do
Mhm.
not know a plumber." Um, so I realized I have to know these people. So I have to reach out. I have to make a connection, and I prefer face to face. Besides, like sometimes I've done like phone calls or just like messaging on like Messenger, Facebook, or Instagram DMs. It's just not the same. Um, and I want to make sure that the people who I recommend, I like myself, um, and I feel comfortable recommending them. So seeing them face to face does help. Um, so kind of like the individual networking stuff, that was kind of my idea to start doing, because I saw the benefit of it. Um, and so far, now that I have grown over this past year, I can say that I can recommend just about anybody because of the people I've talked to. Um, the one thing I lack is attorneys. I need to reach out to more real estate attorneys, so that's on the list. But yeah,
Well, real estate attorneys, if you're watching, Nick
yes,
wants to talk to you.
talk to me.
And I love that you're doing in person. I think you see these articles and it's like Gen Z, and maybe they're even talking about Gen Alpha, because like they're always talking about a generation that's older than they think it is, or younger than they think it is. Oh, their phones are on do not disturb all the time. Like they don't want to talk to people. They don't answer phones. They don't answer doors. And I think what you're highlighting is in that we're missing so much. And you're while it might be a greater initial time commitment to sit down and get coffee to someone or meet someone at their office, um, you're you're wasting less time down the road because you're able to
Hmm.
get that instant, like, yes, or maybe this isn't quite the right person for me, versus doing a lot of online communication and maybe not really getting to know a person, and maybe learning down the line that you need to go a different direction.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
um you talked a little bit about, or you mentioned door knocking, and you're very in person, and if I was told to go knock on doors, I would shy away from that. So I'm really interested in your experience. You seem very personable, and it doesn't seem like it would phase you, but I want to hear about your door knocking.
Yes. Okay, so when I first started, I thought, okay, I can either make cold calls, but then I'm just a stranger calling saying, hey, I'm a realtor, work with me. Or hey, you know? And for me, if I got that phone call, I would say, no, thank you, goodbye, hang up the phone. Phone calls for me, like, I'm very much of a, I'd rather see you in person, and just like point blank, I'd rather see you in person because I can make an impression. You can see who I am, and you can see that I'm not just this person trying to get you to sell your home or buy a home and um like use you as like a business like way to make money. My approach is very still like I have a hospitality approach to real estate, so I like to be of service. I like to offer, as much free advice as possible and just help people. Even if you don't work with me, that's okay. I want to be able to share my knowledge and seem like, a genuine and like kind person in this industry, and not just let me sell you stuff. Um, because I'm 100% not a pushy salesperson. I rather build a relationship. So door knocking, the very first time I door knocked, I made these really cute flyers. Like they had my face on them. It's a hello neighbor. I tri-folded it, and it was had information on it about the market. And I would door knock, and to my surprise, people took it very well because I was expecting people to slam the door on my face. Truly, like I was nervous and I was honestly terrified of it. Um, but it ended up going super well, and I got a few like contacts from doing it. I remember the first time I door knocked, I printed off 100 flyers, so I door knocked 100 doors in one day, and I got like maybe like two people interested in giving me their information. Um, so I would reach out, I would follow up, and to this day, nothing has happened with those leads. Um, but then I kind of changed my approach. So I live in a condo association, so um, every single unit is the same. It's all it's an HOA. So I was like, okay, let me tell the people that I am a member of this community, and I'm gonna knock on the doors by me. So I did that, and I got one lead from it, and she wanted to move to California to be closer to her son, and she was looking to sell. So I've been in contact with her. Um, she is not quite ready to sell, but we stay in contact, and um, really just like in like she's like an older woman, but it's almost like a friendship. It's more like, hey, like whenever you're ready, no pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but if you have questions, let me know. I live two doors down. Um, so eventually I do foresee her selling, um, and hopefully she uses me. If not, I'll be disappointed. But it's okay if she doesn't. And then the other thing too is just helping people with questions. So one of the people in this neighborhood, she actually lives on the other side of this wall. We have a fence in the association that blocks the highway, and it's been neglected for like 20 years. So there were trees growing through it, and there was like boards warped and falling down. And she asked me if, well, first she called me and she said, "Do you really live in this neighborhood?" And I was like, "Yeah, like I live in in this unit." And she was like, "Oh, you're my like next door neighbor." Um, and she has been trying to fight this fence with the HOA to get it fixed for like 3 years. And she asked if maybe I could help at all. And I had no idea when I first started, like how to even go about that. But I sent an email to the association, and it was um, like a plan to action, and explaining from a real estate professional what that type of curb appeal, and how it affects the community. So let's just say like I were to sell my condo, um, buyers would walk in, they would see that fence, and they would say, this HOA that they're buying into might not be something that is great for us. Um, so I explain that in the letter because it doesn't only affect the people who live here, it affects the people buying into the community as well. It looks bad on the HOA, and um, I wanted to prove that, I'm a real estate professional. I understand how the value of homes can go down just based off curb appeal. Um, so it took another like 3 months, but we got a new fence. And my neighbor was very, very happy with me. So I made a good connection with her. Um, and she has rental properties as well. So maybe in the future, that could be a relationship I work with. But um, just helping as much as I can. And even if I'm not getting paid, because this industry, you work for free a lot. Um, it's nice to see that you can help people, even if like some things you just kind of have to like learn as you go. I had no idea how to tell an HOA to fix a fence, but somehow I got it to be fixed. So that was something I was proud about because it was my first like, okay, like I did it. Like I achieved something with I guess like a customer or like a neighbor.
Wow, we're really getting to the good part, and I can't wait for you to hear what comes next. But first, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to make sure you are following and subscribe to the Closing Table podcast wherever it is you get your podcasts. Also, please leave us a comment or review. It is the best no-cost thing you can do for the podcast, and it helps us grow and find more awesome listeners like you. Now, back to the episode. Yeah, I think you should totally be proud. That's such a huge win. Like, when I hear people's kind of stories of HOAs and stuff like that, they can, they move at a snail's pace. So I think like 3 to 5 months and you got a new fence. That's
Yeah.
huge. That's such a huge win. And there's so many good nuggets in there. Like you were able to use your expertise, or even just your like I'm a real estate agent, kind of title
Hmm.
to give yourself some weight, some credibility. That's the word I was looking for. And then I think you found the HOA's motivation, right? Is like they want to keep these units full so that they can get their association fees, obviously. And you're helping your neighbors because now you and your neighbors have a much prettier fence. And although maybe now it's working for free, I hear people's stories like this and it always comes back tenfold. Like you never know
Hmm.
if maybe I think you said she had rental property, so if she's going to
Yep.
sell or her sibling or her parent or cousin or best friend, right? And now like she's had this really positive experience with you and you're top of mind when someone needs an agent. So I think it's super smart to invest yourself in your community in that way.
Yeah, 100%. And HOAs can be not the best to work with sometimes, very challenging. So the first sale I had, they bought into an HOA. And I told them, I said, if you guys ever have any issues with the HOA or any concerns, any questions, this I know the sale is done. We closed on the property, but I'm still here to help you navigate situations. So they live in a different association, but I have their copy of the bylaws and they haven't yet reached out to me for anything like that. But if they did, I'd be more than happy to help and, talk to that board and use just like the, hey, I'm a real estate agent card, and um, show my value and show what knowledge I have with it. So it does help. It does help.
That's awesome. We've talked so much about, your journey. Let's talk a little bit
Hmm.
about your area. What do you love about selling in your area?
So there's a lot of good things that um, comes with like selling in the Winnebago County. So there's such a variety of places to show. So you have places on the river, which like Churchill and um, uh, what's the one right next door? The one right next door. Those neighborhoods are very like um, old and they have that vintage charm to them. I love showing those properties because ideally that's my aesthetic and I like to be able to sell like the vintage charm and uh, just kind of like the old fashioned homes that were built with a lot of like detail in mind. So those homes I love showing. And then we have a lot of condos as well, which I'm super familiar with because I live in a condo. So just being around the condos, um, that's really nice as well. But besides the houses, we have so much to do in Rockford, and especially the surrounding towns. So it's a lot cheaper because we're not a suburb of Chicago. We're more of, we have Rockford, and then like Loves Park would be, I guess, a suburb of Rockford. So we are our own thing, but we aren't too far away from Chicago, which is a big seller, I would say. Where I'm at, it's like a 55-minute drive. to the city. And then also we have great parks, and we have the Anderson Gardens that people love to go to. And we have so much different types of food. And you would never expect this in this area because I know online and in the news, not the Rockford area kind of has a bad rap. Um, but if you really look at it as not just what you see in the news, and you look at it as, what's available, what lifestyle can we live, there's, the Rock Cut State Park, if you're an outdoorsy person. There's the Mississippi Gardens. There's so many great schools out here. And we're close to like great smaller towns too. So I sell mostly in Winnebago County, but also in like Boone County, um, Belvedere area. So there's just like so much different types of things to do. Um, and then also just the economic developments happening. We just got a General Mills building, a new building that is rumored to be being sold to Amazon in 5 years. Not sure if that's really going to happen, but that would be huge. We have the Chrysler plant that just reopened, so jobs. We have the Metro, which they've been saying will be coming for the past 10 years. We think officially they are coming. So that's going to be a huge economic change to this area. We have so many restaurants being built, especially in Belvedere. So many investors are coming. And then we also have the Hard Rock Casino being built, which is bringing a lot of investors for like short-term rentals. And while I would love to see like more independent families, first-time home buyers buy into these properties, it's a great opportunity for people who will need to rent, people who can't afford to buy. A lot more rentals will be being placed on the market. So there's just a variety of things in this area that it's always changing, but I'm very optimistic about what's happening in this area. So I'm able to sell the area with like true passion for it. And especially the downtown, like there's great coffee. I'm a big coffee person and a tea person, and there's great places to go. There's great nightlife. There's just great lifestyle things that you would not think is here.
Well, you've sold me. I'm ready to move.
Yeah, come on
Yeah,
down.
I mean, I really do. I do love Chicago, and I could drive from where I'm at, but it's like 6 hours, so it's not like a
Oh,
short
wow. Okay.
drive,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, we're in Michigan, so
Okay.
not far, but not that close.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. You can really tell the passion you have for your area. It really comes through, and I think people would be so lucky to work with you. We know you're looking forward to your college graduation coming up. Is there anything else you're looking forward to this year, either professionally or personally?
Yeah, so I am leaving my full-time job, and I'm switching to a part-time job. So something that I have a true passion for is like interior homes, like design, and kind of just like um, the renovation side of things and making things really feel at home. So I am switching my job to work in a design studio where I'll be learning how to, draft up, different like kitchen remodels and learn about the different finishes in homes. And I think it's only going to excel my knowledge of real estate. So when I'm showing a house, I can be like, yes, I know this is a granite countertop. I know this is this. And then also on top of that, if someone's coming into a house that needs a remodel and they plan on flipping, I'll have the knowledge to be like, okay, so this is gonna cost you guys about this much money. Um, Obviously an estimate, but I'll be able to learn so much more about homes and what goes into remodeling them, renovating them, kitchen remodels, bathroom remodels, and stuff like that. So that new job is coming end of April, and I am very excited for it.
Oh, congratulations. That sounds really fun. And
Yeah,
you're only increasing your value as an agent. And I think
exactly.
that is so smart. I think you are just, lining up all your ducks, Nick. It's just I see like a really bright future for you and I'm really excited for
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Well, Nick, would you like to direct people how they can find you, how they can follow you?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram and Facebook mostly. So if you just look up my name, Nick Coticchio, it's Coticchio. It's a tough one. Um, I don't post that much at the moment, but I'm trying to post more. And then Facebook as well, which is just my name. I had a business account. It got banned a couple times. I don't know why.
Hmm.
So now I just use my personal. So add me on Facebook. I'll add you back, and that way we can message easier. Um, as well as LinkedIn. It's just my name. I'm trying to post more video content. It's something I've been very nervous about, but I've been pushing myself to make videos and show my face and show my personality. So, um, yeah, follow me on those, and then my website is just nickoticchio.com. Very easy, as long as you can spell my last name.
Yeah, we'll have all
Yeah,
those linked in the show notes below for
yeah.
people. Well, thank you so much, Nick. And thank you all for being here with us today. This has been the closing table brought to you by WindowStill. I'm Kat Schooler. If you're enjoying this podcast, please make sure you are following us on Apple or Spotify. Or if you're part of our YouTube audience, make sure you are hitting that like and subscribe. It helps us find more amazing listeners like you. Thank you all so much, and we will see you next time.